Okay, let's go over the charts for 5/7/2019, Tuesday. On the weekly chart, we're showing pretty much just a doji. Even though this is a neutral bar, it's still fairly negative because of the fall off from the previous week. So we tested down into this volume node right here, found support at the bottom, and have bounced back up at this point. If we were to fall through, I would expect it to hit the top of this other node at this point right here, and then do a pretty good little bounce right here. But I am still expecting this 3027 level up here to be the target. On the daily, ATR is at 28, so we're moving up. We've got volatility in the market at this point. Reflection of the daily, the same kind of pattern, trade down. The reason I picked this location is because of this volume node, these tops, all of these tops, and pretty much the bottoms of this and the top of that. So that's why I kind of picked that location. The extremes are pretty much the bottom of where we traded yesterday, and basically the top of the range, which we may be able to probably get back to today. Anything here on the 60 minutes? So overnight, I talked in the review video yesterday that I thought that they could push this market, that they would push this market back up overnight. They've pushed it up, challenged the bottom of this node, and it's falling back. This is a pretty weak little indicator. You can find that we've got support here across the top, and it did this little bounce on this second candle right here. Tried to bounce up, weak, didn't bounce off the top, and this one is just now sitting here. So I wouldn't be surprised if we fall through and test this bottom side of the volume here. If we open up down here, it's probably a pretty bad indication, and probably get the sell off all the way back into this volume node down here. So pay attention to that. Some average kind of volume after hours. You can see that they really, the biggest bar is this pump up bar right here, but they just couldn't hold it. On the intraday, basically you can see that we came up, tested the top, kind of almost a perfect little test right there, and have been selling ever since. Sold down. There's that bounce off the top. It's a pretty weak bounce. We're traveling sideways right at this point. I mean, you do have what's looking like a bear flag kind of forming right here, and then so I'm expecting it to probably trade down and test the bottom here. They are up another 4,000 contracts on the delta here, and they put a lot into it yesterday. So I really want to say that they're going to try and somehow find a way to lift this market and get this thing up here. But they've actually got some volume up here that they got to travel through at this point, that going to kind of hold them back a little bit. And if we kind of profile things, you got a pretty good little kind of node right here that they're going to have to break through. They've got the bottom of this node right here that I've got marked off, the high volume node right there. It's a very neutral market, and that's what we saw on the weeklies. So keep that in mind. Just kind of trade the levels, right? So if we fail here, try and take something long here. Look for a move back up to the top of the range. Don't try and, maybe if it's got real strong, and trading kind of something like like this, hang on, and maybe you're going for a ride again. like we did yesterday, but yeah, I mean, if this breaks through right here, right? So if this can't hold, you get a bounce. It goes up to the top. It's going to bounce through, and it's probably going to come test this area first right here, and kind of just profiling this. So you kind of see the top of this matches up with this right here, and then really your bottom node is right here. So and that's the last line that I have on the chart. So I wouldn't expect it unless it's really weak to go beyond this level, but I would say that the way that they bought it yesterday, would be a very good long also to take. So high odds. You never really have more than like 60-40 odds on a trade, if you ask me, but trading's all about probability. So if if it comes down here and tests the bottom, you have a kind of like a 60-40 to get a bounce and get a tick to a point or whatever, and if it's strong enough and it keeps on going, you may get 2 or 3 points out of it. So unfortunately I've already adjusted the lines, but that's what we were getting over here. These lines worked perfect. I had a line right across the top here, and you were getting several points out of the pullbacks on some of these. This one was a little bit tougher, but it kind of grinded through. And that's the kind of the way that I trade. Is I look to try and get a point or two if I can. If it doesn't seem like it's going to go, I just take a tick or two and get out of the market. It's all about preservation of capital. So anything else? I wanted to show you, this was the symmetry from yesterday, and it was working pretty good for the most part, all the way up to where it just kind of broke out, and then at that point it was a different pattern. This got overextended, and the pattern wasn't there, but you can see it worked pretty good on most of the first taps of the levels, all the way up. So, and I haven't really drawn this out, but so if we take this first kind of swing area, it looks like it kind of bisects it pretty good right here. And if we maybe grab a couple of these, and see what we're looking at right here, you can see the levels are starting to kind of work right there, and that's probably pretty small. There's just so much trading action anymore on the charts that it's hard to see everything. So you can see this line lines up nicely right across the top with those. Find support across there. The level looks like it might work. So on first touches, like if you would have touched it here, if you would have had that drawn out and touched it on that candle, look at that sell candle right there that you would have caught right there, right? This one doesn't look like it would have worked as strong as this was kind of blasting off through right there. It would have got you, but this one would have worked down here probably, and that's based off of this first swing. And you can see how nicely the midline works right there. Anything else that I can really tell you? Nope. Good luck with your trading today.